some fun stuff today. So I don't know if you saw my profile, but I put my Christmas tree up last week, and I did it in a Disney, kind of like a slight Mickey Mouse theme, but it's mainly just reds and greens and like the really traditional colors. So I'm carrying that over. I've got throw pillow covers in the family room, but I'm trying to bring that over into my kitchen. I just ordered a tablecloth and then a matching table runner for my little buffet. So I want to have a centerpiece that can go on my table. So that's what I'm trying to make today. So I'm sticking with, you can see the really traditional. We've got the green glitter. We've got the red glitter. I do have, and I wish I had more of these, some picks if I want to kind of, add a little bit more greenery to it, which I may. My tree is not flocked though, so I'm not going to be adding in anything that's flocked. I have, these are my last curls from Joann. These are my last Joann curls. Oh girl, I miss you so. But I thought they were absolutely perfect to put in here. It's going to match it exactly. But what are we building this on? Christmas tree. It is the Christmas tree that you can get from Dollar Tree, but I have two. And I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. Oh, that was exciting. I didn't pee this time. Yay me. We're going to put two of these together to make a centerpiece. So roughly this is going to be about 26 inches long. Okay. So for right now, I'm going to take all the glittery stuff. That's might be what made me sneeze. I'm going to put that back in my bin behind me so I can have a clear space to work, and we can talk about how we're going to attach these things. All right. So making sure I have my scissors, but we also want to make sure that we have some zip ties. Now I'm going to use these. Yes, they're a little longer, but these are, if you look at the thickness between this and like the smaller ones, these are thicker and they're going to hold better. I can tug harder. These are great for like little simple bows, but if you pull too hard, sometimes they can snap. So I'm using the big thick ones. All right. So the first thing I want to do is pull these bottoms off, and then we're just going to fluff them. And you're not really going to see too much of this base when we're done. Is this the highest quality in the world? No. It's from Dollar Tree. Like, what do we expect? Like, we get what we pay for. But we're going to have so much stuff on this that we're not really going to see it that much, right? And you'll notice that unlike a lot of my other projects, I am not bringing mesh into this because I think that would make this a little bit too thick, a little bit too much. And I'm just trying to keep this kind of more, light, airy, not a big, huge centerpiece, because honestly, my daughter's going to be moving this out of the way anyway, because she takes over my table all the time. Now I am trying to kind of leave the flat back right there. So if I see stuff that's kind of flat, I can pull it to the side, but I'm leaving that flat on the back. But the other cool thing is once you do something like this, you can always take one of these branches, turn it into a loop, and you can turn this into a swag that you can hang on your door as well. So it's not necessarily for laying flat. You can put it also on a table. Lashana, hello. Hey, my show was great. It was a great show last year. It was a fantastic show for me this year. I sold 10 tomato cage trees. And I sold only one wreath, but lots and lots of bows and those decorated candy canes that we can't get any more of. Dollar Tree, talking to you. It was fantastic. Cleanup was a little cold. It was 30 degrees when I got back into my car, so we were a little chilly. But, I'm not going to complain. And then the snow held off. It snowed overnight here. I can still see some outside, so I'm glad it waited. Okay, so now we have, let's check our back. So we want to leverage, there we go, leverage all of it. Fill in those gaps, all right? We've got two of these flat ones. We're going to kind of put them together like that, all right? And then we're going to just zip tie it together. So I like to kind of, if I leave too much of a gap, then when we put the ribbons and stuff on, you're going to have a gap here. So I like to kind of put them as close together as I can. I'm going to run a zip tie down the middle of this first. Now I'm going to just put it in there. I'm not going to pull all the way. I'm going to kind of get it in there, but just enough where I can still maneuver it. Let's see if I like it. All right, now I'm going to pull it all nice and tight. All right, that's the first one. We're not going to rely on just one though. And then I'm just going to snip it. Now, I don't want to put these zip tie blocks on the back of it because then that'll kind of make it, it won't lay flat if we do that. Okay, but you'll see on the back, you know, like this worked here, but we got to put one here and one here. So we have to add 2 more because it can still slide out. So we want to make sure it's really, really super secure. So we're going to add 2 more zip ties, and then that puppy won't be going anywhere. Not that we're going to put that much on this. I do also have some glittery ornaments, like just ball ornaments that kind of match the ones that are on my tree. So I'm just trying to like bring it all together. I want to carry that theme. If you have a theme in one room, it does make it more cohesive throughout your house to kind of carry the same theme. But sometimes people like to put different themes in different parts of their house. And that's always fun too. Like I'll do gingerbread in the kitchen, and then they'll be like, I do snowman here. This year I went minimal. I didn't bring up my white and blue snowman stuff. I just kind of did the traditional red and green. I was trying to put up a little less this year. It's just overwhelming to have to put it all away, and I'm trying to give myself a bit of a break. So, not that I'm completely crapping out on Christmas this year. I'm going a little less, because maybe for me this year less is more. It means less stuff means a little bit more enjoyment for me, especially when it comes to putting it away. All right, so this is the back. Okay, you can see the back here. Uh-oh, hold on. I didn't get that one in there. Scratch that. I gotta do one more. I did not actually get that other piece in there. Shame on me. We're talking and not paying attention. That's why I always check my work. There we go. There we go. All right. So now it just looks like a regular little swag. I mean, I did buy some swag pieces like this at Joann before they went out of business. They're in a bin somewhere. I don't know where they are. So that's why I decided to do this. But here we go, right? Just kind of our little swaggy. I'm going to try to tighten the middle one. I can still see it. I should have probably pulled a little tighter. There we go. All right. So here is our swag. So now we have this. What are we going to do with it? I'm going to layer in a bunch of different picks, and they're not super expensive picks. Okay, so we had our Joann curls. Those will go in kind of toward the end. I'm trying to lay down a good base layer of glitter. So I'm starting with, these were also from Joann. Oh, I love these. Michaels just doesn't do it for me with their picks. I don't know what it is. Michaels, you need to you're doing Joann's yarn, okay? Come back and do Joann's picks because Joann knew what she was doing, right? But these came from Hobby Lobby. Now these were $2.99 a piece. There are 3 stems on here. I'm gonna cut this off. Okay, I've got 4 of them, so I'm gonna cut the price tags off of 2 for right now. And I want to just layer these. Okay. So I'm kind of doing kind of like this thing, right? So this kind of comes out to the side. Separate them out. All right, separate them out. Now you can tell. Before it kind of looked like one. Now it looks prettier. It looks like 3. There we go. There we go. All right. I can come out. I don't want to come out too far. Okay. That I kind of want to just like an inch or 2 past where that is. Okay. So I'm going to put that there. Then I'm going to layer this other one and put that on top of it. Okay. Kind of where this top one kind of hits almost where this turns into a stem, but not too far because this is kind of our middle point. Okay. So this is going to kind of cover that. So we like that. So I am going to grab more zip ties. Loving this. Okay. Go around this. And then we can also add some further up. I'm just kind of adding this as a little bit of a base. So I'm going to put that on here. But I'm not going to go too tight. I'm going to leave enough room because I want to be able to put the picks from the other way through this loop as well. So I'm kind of just doing that. But I've got enough room. It's just sitting in there. I can still slide these 2 in there from the other side. And then what I'll do is trim off any excess. We don't want to see the excess brown stem sticking out. We don't need that. But because this is such a small swag, that's why I am keeping these as solid pieces instead of breaking them apart, because if you pull them apart, this is very, very thin. It's very thin on here. So there wouldn't be a whole lot. We'd have to really rely on glue. And I don't want to rely on too much glue. Why? I don't know. Just because I don't want to. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to put this one through. All right. And I'm going to make sure that this comes up, and it's going to go just a little bit past the tip. Okay, just the tip. And then I'm going to slide this one in right after it. And slide that one down. So these come out to the sides, and this kind of covers that. All right, so I'm going to give this center one a nice good tug right now. Good tuggy-wuggy. All right. And honestly, I think we're good. I don't think I need to cut off any of the brown because we're not really going to see it. I can just kind of put that right underneath there. But I think those are good. Those don't feel like they're coming out, so I'm happy with just the one zip tie that I have in there. That's working good. All right. So we see a little bit of the greenery under here. Not a whole heck of a lot, but it's there. Okay. Let me clean this off. Now let's talk next steps and what we can do. So I have some of this, which we would not put on as a whole piece, but do you see how there are 5 pieces? We'll be able to kind of take that off. We can kind of glue them and kind of stick them in some of the other spots. But before we do that, I think this is the point where I want to put in my bow. Okay, let's put in our bow. Let me move this over to the side. I keep putting stuff on the table and taking it off. I know. But I want you guys to be able to see what the bow's going to look like. So, let me put that over to the side. I want to go check comments real quick. Stephanie, the cardboard that I put my bows on, that is, I think it's 30-point stock. It's just called chipboard, and that's on Amazon. I used the 8.5 by 11. I will use a hole punch to get the center punch to hang it on, and then further down the board, I make 2 punches with an awl, and I push the pipe cleaners through those, twist it, and put packing tape on the back. That's how I make those. Uh-oh. Patty, you can't hear me very well? Is anybody else having trouble hearing me? Is the volume okay? Let me know. Let me know. I will try to speak up. LaShawna, yeah, it was cold yesterday. It really was. But yeah, thank you. I did have a really good show. All right. Yeah, let me know if you guys can hear me. Someone can add a comment on there. Say if it's not good, if it's better. Sometimes my connectivity is not the best. But these are the ribbons that I'm going to be using. These are the ones that I used in my tree topper. I did have a couple other ones, but I don't want to go overboard. But I'm focusing on, we have here the red and white. This one was a Costco ribbon. No, Members Mark. That was Sam's Club. I'm sorry. That was a Sam's Club ribbon. And then I had this one. This was an RG ribbon that you can get at places like Craft Outlet. I do have some, but I might use it for kits, so I have not listed it in my shop yet. And then we have this RG ribbon as well. And then this one. Now this, it looks like black, but this is actually hunter green in the plaid. Oh, Vanessa, you hear me fine? Okay, good. Okay, good. Excellent, excellent. Alrighty. All right, so what I want to try to do is create a bow for the center. So I'm going to have the 4-inch loops and then the 1.5-inch loops. And I'm going to have it in the center, but I'm going to have, I'm going to have some tails kind of coming out to the side. It's not going to be huge. We're only talking about that big. So I might probably just do 5-inch loops. That'll give me a 10-inch bow, and then I can kind of maneuver the loops. So 10 inches. Yep, that's about what I want. So I'm going to do some 5-inch loops. Smaller than I usually do, but this is a smaller swag. And then I'll kind of go in from there. But then the tails are going to kind of come out. And at the end, then I'm going to take one of the 1.5-inch ribbons, and I think probably add in just a couple more, just like 2 loops and then 2 tails kind of coming on the side, just to kind of bring it throughout. If I think it needs it. If I add in the other picks and I think we're good, then I may not do that. Okay, so let me move that to the side. I can't wait. I am so excited for that tablecloth to get here, and it's going to be like 2 or 3 days. but I will do a video of it once it gets here. It's not the highest quality in the world. I'm aware of what I'm getting, right? It's going to be one of those cheap nylon ones, but that's okay. Because my daughter's going to be spilling stuff all over it, so it's fine. It's going to have Cheeto and Dorito stains all over it. I'm going to start with the red, okay? Putting that in. I like to dovetail everything to start with. I'm just weird. But you can make your bow and then dovetail it when you're done, okay? Now, this is my bow making tool. It's called the Easy Bows Design Pro. If you go to my bio, you will find a link tree. And there's an affiliate link there. You can go and check this out. They do have a smaller wood version as well. So you don't have to get the big Mega Pro version. I just like it because the plastic dowel will stay in. And it gives me a real tight hold, which I love. And they're really tall. All right, so I'm going to put this in here now. I was going to have 5-inch loops, but I kind of want some longer tails to come out. So I'm going to do my tails at 8 inches. That way it gives me enough where I can cut some off so I can shorten it. Okay, pinching and twisting. Okay, we have a pinch and twist. So then on the left side here, I'm looking at the back side of the ribbon. I'm going to bring that around, push it down the center of the Bowmaker, and then following the natural curve of where that ribbon goes, putting it at 5 inches. I'm not smashing it down. Okay, we're not doing that. I'm kind of putting that in there. Just wondering if that's going to be too small. You know what? I think this layer, I'm going to do like 5.5 inch on the bottom layer. I'm going to do 5.5 inch. Just because I want to make sure that it kind of comes down and gives me some coverage going closer to the table on the back, only because this is the bottom layer. So this is 5.5. Okay, pinch and twist. 5.5 on that side. And I'm going to pinch and twist again. So I'm looking at the back side of the ribbon again. Now we're going to make our loop again. 5.5 inches going in. All right, and then twisting on the right, pinch and twist. All right, and doing 5.5 inches. And then I know this tail is going to be way too long, but for right now, I'm just going to match what I did. So I cut that at 8 inches. I'll cut this a little past 8. That lets me dovetail it. There we go. All right. So this is the bottom layer. Whee! All right. Now, I'm going to probably do it where it's got a tail kind of coming out of either side. So if you picture this is the long swag, I'm going to have one tail coming that way and one tail kind of coming out the other side. All right. And there we go. That is our base layer. It's really pretty. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. All right. Taking my Sam's ribbon off. Going to the next layer. Isn't this pretty? I love that it's just got that traditional hunter green, but I like that it's got the black and white check on the accent on the side. That's why I picked this too, because, you know, Mickey's black ears are reminding me of Mickey Mouse. I have a Mickey and Minnie in my tree, just kind of wired in there. That was kind of fun. So now this one I might do a little differently, because if I end up doing it how I did this, I'm only going to end up with 2 tails, but I really want some tails to be on either side. So I'm going to break this into 2 parts, okay? I'm going to start on this side. I'm going to do a 7-inch tail, pinch and twist. And now I'm going to bring it over. We're going to do a 5-inch loop because the other one was 5.5. We're going to do this at 5. I pinch and twist, bring it over, pinch and twist. Okay. Well, I don't have to pinch and twist because I'm just going to pull a tail. Okay. I'm just pulling a tail, going a little past 7. And doing that, okay? Because that's going to give me a tail here, a loop there, and a tail there. And now we're going to start the other way so we can fill in this side here with some tails and some loops, all right? Same thing, just coming in from the other side. Okay, so that was 7-inch tail, pinch and twist. Bring that loop around. We're going to make that go 5.5, but I like to just measure it so it matches the one that was below it right here. Pinch and twist. Backside. Bringing it over. Okay, 5.5. All right, now I don't have to pinch and twist because I'm making a tail. Cutting this a little past 7. Boom. Here we go. Getting a tail. I want to check in what everybody is saying. Okay. All right. So hopefully it might be better. Oh, Lori, you know what? This will be posted. This gives me on my YouTube, but it'll be posted. You can do a replay on this, so don't worry. Don't worry. I always do a replay. Because I know people work during the day. You're like, why do you go live on Mondays during the day? Because my daughter's not here and it's quiet. That is why. Okay. Bring this over. All right, so this one is going to be the one that's center. And then I'm going to kind of have like loop there, kind of going this way, that way. Actually, I might want to put the loop there, then a tail, and then a loop in the tail. All right. Go back where I'm telling you to. Go where I say. You don't listen. You are like my daughter. Jeez, come on. Check out what everybody else was saying. Okay, awesome. All right. Hopefully everyone's doing good, following along. All right, this is going to go behind me. Now we're going to bring in, at first I was kind of, do I really want 2 layers of 1.5? I do. Because to me, the bow is the center point, the focal point of the centerpiece, okay? There we go. All right, so I'm going to do the tail. We're going to do a 6-inch tail, pinchy twisty, okay? Now, we're going to do, it's going to do a 4.5-inch loop. Okay, 4.5 inch. Yep, 4.5 inch, pinch and twist, 4.5 inch, pinch and twist. Now, I haven't decided yet if I want any more than this, because I still have to put my red on, so I think I'm just doing a little hint of this. So I think we're good. So that was 6 inches. I'm going to pull it past 6. Do a little snippy. Oh, I have so much stuff I have to make before. My next craft show is in 2 weeks. I have to make tomato cage trees, and lots of them. I need mug arrangements. I need more bows. The bows made with the value ribbons, they sold very, very, very well. If you do craft shows, sell bows. Really, because honestly, they do cost a lot if you're just shipping a bow. But if you can, people want to pick them up at a craft show. So many people came up to me and said, I love to craft, I love to make stuff, but I can't make bows. And then they bought one of my bows to use on one of their projects. So, highly recommend going the bow route. Okay, now this layer, I'm going to have this tail, kind of hit it like 5.5. Pull my loop in. So this is going to be, I think I'm still going to do the same size loop as was underneath it, because it's just kind of like poking out, And no, I'm going to go a little bit shorter, I guess. Okay, so this is like a 4-inch loop. Let me double check. Yep, this is a 4-inch loop. Pinch and twist. Bring it over. Sorry, I'm also recording it overhead for later, so people are getting a nice view of my roots. I'll be getting them touched up soon. All right, and then I still want to do another set of loops. So we're going to go there and there. All right. And I'm going to cut this tail off. Pinch and twist. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to separate these loops out. And I'm going to go loop, loop, tail, loop, loop, tail. And then eventually these loops are going to kind of pinch together. Okay. So I'm going to get a, maybe I'll just zip tie. I'm going to use 2 zip ties on this one. I'm going to use a zip tie in the back and a zip tie in the front. Okay, so here I go. I'm pulling this all up. Okay. Put a zip tie on the back, then a zip tie around the front. Okay. Through. All right, so you see the zip tie that's on the back. I'm going to pull this. All right, I'm going to tighten it, but not all the way. Okay, I'm going to hold it by this. Let's make our loops. We're going to move our loops around before we do the final tighten. It's easier to do this now than later. All right, so we're going to fluff. Run your fingers down the wires. Okay. That loop's going to come there. Tail, loop, loop, loop. Go. All right, now here in the center, I want to pinch these two loops together, okay? Because I'm trying to hide the fact that there is a zip tie in the middle. If you pinch it together, boom, there you go. Fluff these up a little bit. And then these white ones I want to kind of come over. They're going to kind of overlap over the red. So here's what our bow looks like right now. All right, nice and cute. I'm going to move this off to the side and we're going to bring back the centerpiece. We're going to do the finishing parts. Yay! So excited. Sorry. I'm doing Mickey themed Christmas because I get to go to Disney World with my daughter in December. I'm very excited. We're going to Mickey's Christmas party, but I got to call and see if we can leave earlier because I'm a little worried about, all the late flights and things I've been seeing. So it scares me a little bit. Okay, did the final pull. Snip that off, but I still have that whole zip tie on the back here that I'm going to use to put on here. All right. So obviously I can still see my center point right here between the two. Just going to put that on here. Zip tie it all around. All right. And so far, you can tell I have not used any glue. This is strictly a zip tie project, which I love. Hot glue has it out for me. It's like a personal vendetta thing. I think it has. It doesn't like me. It likes to burn me and make me swear at it. All right. Okay, so here we go. Let me find. All right, now I want to twist this a little bit, okay? Because I wanted these tails to kind of be centered this way. So here we go. Now we can kind of play with placement. Yeah, I can already tell that those red tails are going to be way too long, so that's okay. I'd rather have them be a little too long and then kind of let me fix them. All right? And I also want to make sure the bow is going on top of some of these elements, not under it. Where'd you go, bow? Where'd you go, Loopy? Loopy, come back, my friend. Come back. I'll never let go, Jack. Oh, a boat. He could have fit. I'm just saying. Titanic. He could have fit. All right. All right. I'm just kind of playing around, moving around my loops. I'm trying to decide where I want the tails for these. I think, though, I want them to kind of maybe be slightly opposite of the white tails. See how those are kind of going? There. All right. I'm liking this. Okay. All right. It's looking good. I do want to take about an inch off of the red layer, though. I think it's a little much, so I'm going to take about an inch off. Yeah. A little better. Just a little bit on this side. There we go. Get the good stuff going. Wee, fling. All right. So, I mean, you could stop here if you want something simple. You could just kind of stop here, and I think it looks pretty like that, right? But we don't stop there. No, we don't. We're gonna add more stuff. More. All right. I'm going to save these for last. The next thing I think I want to put in are these. I'm going to start with just one. I don't think I'm going to end up needing to use these. I thought about maybe kind of putting them in here, like on the side toward the end, but since there's not any to fill out the rest, I was a little unsure. But actually, you know what? I kind of like it. Okay, I'm changing my mind. We're doing it. But we're just going to glue these in, okay? So I have 4 of these. These were Joann, but you can find probably similar picks at lots of other places. Hobby Lobby, Hobbs Labs. We like the Hob Lab. Now, see, if I were over on TikTok, I could not mention the name of a store because I did find out that the algorithm does not like when you mention other places that people can go to get off that platform. So it will suddenly restrict your viewers if you mention other store names or even apparently your own shop name. So you can get all my stuff at my business name, .com. on ETSY. There, how's that? Is that good enough? All right, so we're gonna add some glue. I just want to put a dry fit in here first, kind of see where I want him to go. Because I kind of want to build it out kind of here and on the sides, right? Now, I don't have too much underneath here, but that's okay because we've got the pine and we've got those tails. So that's kind of covering that. So I'm going to kind of build this out on the side. So I'm just going to add some glue. Don't add glue over your thing. Put it over the mat or whatever you're working on in case it drips. Bring it in here. Just kind of stick that in there. All right. I hate getting the labels off of things. Do you guys ever like end up like leaving labels stuck and then you see it later and you're like, oh, forgot to get that sticker off. Woo. Okay. Here we go. Adding glue. Okay. Now I'm not adding it directly next to it. I'm kind of going a little off to the side. So it kind of looks like that. Okay. Because I'm going to add some green on this side. All right. And that's just going to stick to whatever's in there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Adding lots of glue onto my pick. And see, there it dripped. It dripped, so I'm glad I didn't put it over anything else. Now we're going in here. Put that in there. Okay. And then another one. And you could zip tie this in if you wanted to. You don't have to use glue. I just think at this point, I'm going to try it. If Mother Nature decides to hurt me, well, then she can. Yeah, I'm just going to add some glue in that way. All right. You go in there and hit it with some glue this way. I'm moving my ribbons so I don't get any glue. There we go. Just want to make sure that it sticks to those, the little pine pieces, right? I want it to stick to that. All right. Refluff that. Okay, so now I've got a little bit extra greenery in there. I'm going to snip this apart. There are 5 different pieces on this. After I take off the price. I'm going to mini pearl this thing. Leave the price tags on there. Okay. Disney is really pretty at Christmas. Lori, is it? I want to go so bad because I want to see how they decorate it. And because I'm going with an eye for how they're decorating and paying attention to the decorations and using it for content, I'm wondering if I can write off part of it on my taxes as a business expense, because that is kind of part of the reason why I'm going. It's not part of the reason why I'm taking my daughter. That's all right. All right, I'm just going to snip this apart. And I can shorten these stems. I just want to get them off of here for now. So there's 5 on here, which was a pretty good price. It wasn't bad. But I'm going to kind of start from the outside and then kind of come in. So I want to start by putting some stuff like right in here. Right, so I'm just going to kind of put that in there. And I think actually having the longer stems on here is helpful with this particular kind of project. So now it's got other stuff that it's going to stick to. All right. I'm going to put another one. I kind of want to go that way and that way. So I did the one kind of straight in, but now I'm going to kind of come in at an angle. All right. So that came through back. No, we are good. We are good. All right. So it's kind of almost to the side. I do want to be able to see this little pine cone there. So I want to be able to put that in there. All right. Kind of put the longer stems behind it. And then I'll come in with another one over here now. Putting the glue on the stem. And stick it in there. Christmas at Disney is a bucket list item for me. And it just, life is short. And you never know how long you have on this earth, right? You never know. And I want to go while I can still go. I wanted to stay at the Wilderness Resort, the lodge, but that's out of my budget. And I'm okay with that. I'm just going to, if we go a day earlier, maybe we can just, take the bus over there and just kind of walk around and take pictures and see it. I just want to see it. I don't want to have to stay there. I just want to see it. Okay. All right. That's looking good. One over there, one over there. I might just have to cut one other piece from a different bush, but so far I'm okay with just kind of putting in 3 pieces. So let me get a long one. There we go. I want to get this long one from the other bush. And that bush, by the way, was $3.99, which I didn't pay $3.99. But it just in terms of what you can expect for general pricing, now that was Joann. We all know what happened to our girl. All right. Here we go. I'm going to move that loop just so I can kind of see where I'm going with this. All right. I got it in there, but I want to add an extra little bit of glue just to make sure that that is sticking. It's really kind of adhering to the brown strips that are on that red glitter leaves. So it's kind of sticking to the base of that pick, which is great. But I also want to make sure it picks up some of the greenery too. All right. Gee, I hope the lady I'm making it for likes it. Oh, wait, it's for me. Yay. Okay, so this is what we have so far. I'm looking at these, wondering if I need these or not. I'm debating because I wasn't sure how full this is going to look. It looks pretty full to me, but yeah, I'm going to add them. Whee! But I think I'm only going to add like 6, like 3 on each area. Okay. All right. So like if I put this kind of on the end, but I think I want to kind of go underneath here. I don't want to see the white, so that's what I have to be careful about, is burying the white. I like it. It adds just a little extra zhuzhy something, so I'm going to do that. But I'm going to bury it between the green and red layers. I'm hitting the zip tie. Okay, we got that one in. I don't know if I need it that long on these, so I'm going to trim these out. Let's see where else I want to kind of put these. I still want to go to the pine cone, so maybe kind of coming a little more out to these sides here, right? I want to fill this in. Make sure I got that one good. What's this stuck to? What's it sticking to? Oh, not on the bow, under the bow. Jeez, Linda. Hold on, I'm glad I checked. That was no bueno. Not good, not good, not good. There we go. Ow, ow, ow. It's on my finger. It's on my finger. I'm burning myself. There we go. All right, just kind of coming out a little bit. I'll do the same kind of on the other side. Put the glue on. Coming over here. Kind of seeing where I can run this. I'm going to pick it up and try to kind of push it actually between some existing branches. There. I like that. But I also want to add one more. Because you see it's got like 1, 2, 3, but I'm like, I think I need one kind of like there to kind of balance it out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it. Maybe it is overdone. Maybe people would have quit. No, not me. I live for excess. That's why I'm a chubby gal. I make no apologies. And I am kind of thinking of sticking something in the middle of that bow because I just think it needs something other than what it's got in there right now. Branches down. Okay, we got that side done. Looking pretty. And I know we're going to do 3 and then 1. So I'll have 1 curl left. This was this. So this was the long one. So this is the one I'm going to stick down. Save your stems. Save your stems. You know what I'm talking about. I love saving those things. Okay. So now I'm going to run this down the middle. All right. There we go. Make it poke up a little bit. I don't want it to be flat. I want it to kind of be coming up. All right. Now we're going to go on the sides. So let's go over here. Let's pull this up and see where we can bring this in. If you can shove it between some branches, that's great. That worked for me there with that one. Sometimes with these curls too, you have to recurl them because when you get them, they've snagged on stuff. So those curls aren't going to be perfect. I did recurl them as best I could before I started the live. I usually just wrap them around my finger. All right. Oh, this one's got paper coming off, but that's all right. I'll make it work. All right. And two, if it's kind of close, I can actually wrap that green around that white stem. That gives that a little bit of added extra security. All right. And then I'll use this one to go down the middle. There we go. A little more zhuzh. There we go. We'll fatten it up. This one's going to go right down the center. Hopefully under or close to where I have the center of the bow. All right. There we go. That's looking fun. All right, now I'm kind of thinking of putting an ornament in the center, but I don't know if I want to do red or green. So let me grab one of each and we'll take a look. Okay, I have my green. Ooh, I taped this shut apparently a while ago. Here we go. I think I could go for the muted green, or I could go for a shiny glittery red, which I kind of think is, I don't know. I'm going to let you guys decide. Do you want me to go glittery red or the matte green? Oh, Patty, the reason I saved my stems is because you can use these for a lot of other things. So if you make a bow and you want to insert it into an arrangement, you would just take your pipe cleaner, you would wrap it around the stick, add a little bit of glue, and then you can cut the stick to whatever height you wanted to, and then you could have basically your bow on a stem. You can put it in an arrangement. You can do lots of things with these. If there's like styrofoam attachments or like little foam things you get that you want to put into a wreath and you want it to have extra, like if you had a snowman head, right? You could stick the snowman head on this, and then you could stick this with glue into the wreath to give it some added stability. So you can just use these behind the scenes in making lots of other projects. They're really fun. Okay, you guys like the green? Green. Okay, the green has it, ladies and gentlemen. The green has it. All right, we're going to do green. All I'm literally going to do is just put some glue right around the middle, all around the middle, on the center. Okay. And just pop it right in there. And then I just kind of touch underneath a little bit on the loops just to make sure that the glue is hitting. But, all right. Let's finish taking a look at what we've got here. I've got too much red on the bow on one side. Hold on. I got to move this over. I got some issues going around. I think I need to switch out that. Yeah, this loop needs to come over here. The loop comes there, and then tail comes down here. There we go. That looks a little better dispersed, okay? Make sure these kind of curl under. This one I'm going to trim because I think it's a little long. Whee! All right. Put that down. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that that topper better arrive really soon now because I want it. Or my little here we go. My tablecloth, table runner. And I'm not trying to overdo the Mickey Mouse. Like Mickey's in the tree, it's got a hint of Disney, but it's not like whacking me over the head like Disney, 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 you know. So it's kind of, you know, subtle. Subtle is the word. And that's not something that I'm used to. I am not a subtle person. I am very much say what I mean, overdo everything kind of gal. All right, so here we go. Here's our project that we made on a Dollar Tree set of Christmas trees, which was our base. So $1.75, I imagine, times 2. What is that? $3.50? I don't know. I don't do math. Don't quote me. I don't know. I don't do math. I just play with glitter and ribbon. All right. So this project is going to be backed up. I have a channel on the Tube of You, wink, wink, you know what I'm talking about, where all my videos get backed up because it does get taken off of Facebook after 30 days. So if you want to keep watching, say like and subscribe over there, and then you get notifications when I have new videos available there too.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can shop all of my items at sweetariadecor.com, and you can follow me all over social media.